Yo, what's going on everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what you're going to be seeing is I'm going to be making my predictions on who I think is going to win every single NFL award. Now, I'm not going to make every single award. I'm going to make basically the main ones. I'm going to be doing NFL MVP, Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year for offense, Rookie of the Year for defense, and then Comeback Player of the Year. I'm going to be making kind of two predictions. I'm going to be making my actual prediction and then a dark horse prediction, and I'm going to say it up front. When I say dark horse, I'm not saying obviously my favorite that I'm picking to win the award. Dark horse is going to be a person that's just on the back of the end of the betting odds that they're probably not going to win, but if they did win, I wouldn't be super surprised. Without further ado, if you're going to enjoy, drop a like, and without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with one of the more easier ones, this one shouldn't be hard for the NFL voters to make. We got Coach of the Year. I'm saying this now, if the Detroit Lions go to the playoffs, Dan Campbell needs to get Coach of the Year. Now, would I be surprised if maybe Robert Saleh got it with the Jets because the Jets have struggled to make the playoffs all these years? But I would say that one's not really that fair, seeing how they have now Aaron Rodgers and all these weapons around. The Lions didn't have anything when Dan Campbell got there, and he's built this team, developed them, and now they have a shot to go to the playoffs. That's Coach of the Year worthy. Now, if I had to say a dark horse coach for Coach of the Year, this one is, according to the bettors, is not really dark horse worthy because he's actually the second best odds for Coach of the Year right now. Sean Payton. I don't see how he's going to fix the Denver Broncos, but if he does, he's got a good shot to win Coach of the Year. And then the next one that's kind of not really hard to make, Comeback Player of the Year. If Damar Hamlin even just steps on the field for 2 seconds, I'm pretty sure he already won the award just right there. I mean, the guy was clinically dead on the field, and he's going to play football again. I don't know what else wins Comeback Player of the Year. Now, when it comes to a dark horse competitor, there's two actually. John Mechie from the Houston Texans. He was diagnosed with cancer last year, had to sit out the entire year. I believe he's trying to come back this year. And then maybe another one, Matthew Stafford, maybe. I could maybe see that one being a possibility. I mean, Matthew Stafford had all the injuries last year, and then if he comes out here this year and just balls out, he'd be up for discussion. And then with John Mechie, like I said, he could have died. He had cancer, I believe. And he's coming back to play football again. Moving on to NFL Offensive Player of the Year. This one's a tough one. I don't really know where to go with it because you could go with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Nick Chubb, maybe a Tyreek Hill, maybe one of the quarterbacks that's not going to win MVP. You could vote for one of them. Surprisingly enough, the person I'm going with is right now ranked the 8th best odds to win Offensive Player of the Year according to FanDuel. I'm going with Garrett Wilson. I mean, the dude balled out last year with Zach Wilson, Mike White, and whoever was playing quarterback, Joe Flacco. Hey people, he's got Aaron Rodgers now. That dude's going to be putting up 100 plus catches, 1,600 receiving yards, and at least double digits touchdowns. And when it comes to a dark horse competitor, how about Calvin Ridley? Calvin Ridley got suspended last year for the gambling. He's now with the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball. We'll see how that works. Maybe he could go out there and win Offensive Player of the Year. Next up, we got Defensive Player of the Year. Now, obviously, everybody's probably going to just be picking TJ Watt again. Maybe even like a guy like Micah Parsons. And I look down this list and I say, okay, what are your choices? Some of the obvious ones that you're probably going to pick for this year. You got the Micah Parsons, the Myles Garretts, the TJ Watts, the Nick Bosas, the Sauce Gardners. I'm going to be honest, based off of how the Cowboys defense looks, Micah Parsons goes out there and balls out. I'm going to go ahead and just say I'm going to predict he'll probably get the Defensive Player of the Year award. When it comes to a dark horse competitor, how about Aiden Hutchinson from the Detroit Lions? I wouldn't be surprised if that boy gets up there in the double-digit sacks, gets some tackle for loss. He got, I think, 2 or 3 interceptions last year. This dude's a star in the making. Now let's go to AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, this one's kind of an easy one to pick. You kind of get two choices. Bijan Robinson or Bryce Young. I'm going to go with Bryce Young, but obviously Bijan Robinson is also a great player. When it comes to a dark horse competitor, I really like Jalen Hyatt. I think he's going to ball out with the Giants, especially with the fact that they have no number 1 wide receiver really. And if he steps in there with his speed and he knows how to run his routes pretty smooth, watch out for Jalen Hyatt. Next up, we got the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year. The two guys people are going to be probably picking between is going to be Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. I'm going Jalen Carter. I feel like with that Eagles defense, he has more potential to just ball out with them. With the Texans, he's the only real defensive threat on that defense, so he's going to be double team, triple team 95% of the time. And then with a dark horse competitor, Joey Porter for the Steelers, the son of Joey Porter Sr., That dude I've watched in the preseason, he can really play some damn good DB. But like I said, I would not be surprised if this dude came out of nowhere and by the end of the year became even a finalist for a defensive rookie of the year. And now getting into the big one, NFL MVP. Now obviously with an MVP award, it's at this point pretty much made out to be a quarterback award. Quarterbacks that could win it. You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Burrow, Jalen Hurts could possibly get back up in there, Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence. It's Joe Burrow. If I had to make a bet on who I think is going to win it at the end of the year, I take Joe Burrow. You could have even picked Joe Burrow last year for MVP. He had a pretty damn good year. It was just his interceptions were hurting him a little bit. And when you think about it as a MVP trophy, most valuable player, what does that mean? That means if you take that player off of the team becomes dog shit. You take Joe Burrow off those Bengals, that team becomes dog shit. And then this might be my stupidest hot take. This one's more than just hot. This one's burning hot take. With a dark horse competitor to win MVP, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Deshaun Watson. He's got everything you need, all the receivers. He's got a run game. The offensive line is there. If he goes out there and plays to his potential and just does what the coaching staff is asking him and just sprinkles in a little bit of his Deshaun Watson flair every now and then, look out for Deshaun Watson. But other than that, that's all my predictions on who I think is going to win all the awards. As always, these are my opinions, so if you disagree with anything, let me know down in the comment section for what you maybe disagree with. If there's a different player for one of these awards you want to argue about, let me know. If you want to enjoy today's video, make sure you do drop a like. It is always appreciated if you do so. And if you're enjoying the content that I do post here on the channel, make sure you subscribe. It's free. It costs nothing. Anything whenever it comes to Cleveland Browns content, NFL content, baseball, basketball, anything sports related, I'll try to get it here on the channel. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.